You want to know something? I hated the campaign slogan, Make America Great Again. This has nothing to do with my feelings about Trump, his personality, or his politics. Just as a standalone observation, I found it totally misguided. Here's why. Being great, in quotes, isn't what makes America great. Having the strongest economy or the mightiest military force or being number one in every single category, those things aren't what make this country special. The idea of being the world's only remaining superpower, which really took hold starting after World War II, put us on a bad path. Here's why I say that. It made America forget its brand. America is the land of the free. It's the land of opportunity. Don't forget what our Statue of Liberty says. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free. And here's the most famous line from the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. According to the American tradition, governments are instituted to secure the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Government, in the American interpretation, does not exist to make the country great. Government exists to keep the people of the country free. Free to worship however they please. Free from violence and the destruction of their property. And free from overly burdensome taxation and regulation. As an aside, I wasn't too fond of Yes We Can or Build Back Better either. I am a bipartisan disapprover of campaign slogans. Freedom is a misunderstood term, in my opinion. Being in a free country does not automatically mean that you are going to live a great life. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have the highest standard of living in the world either. It doesn't mean that you are going to become a great person. It means that given a strong internal drive, you can attempt to be whatever you want to be. And the government is supposed to make sure that nobody detains you from making that effort. It also means that you're allowed to be a lazy degenerate if you so desire, so long as you don't interfere with the right of others to go after their goals. A big part of what government is supposed to do is contain degeneracy and bad behavior, because this, more than anything else, is what ruins everybody else's freedom. Of course, this is very different from making a country great. This is the maintenance of freedom. Here's a short list of leaders who made their countries great. Alexander the Great, Peter the Great, Frederick the Great. Not much freedom under these folks. And now I'd like to switch gears for a second and talk about a business term. The term is unique selling proposition. This is what makes successful brands endure. The USP is a claim made by a company that belongs to it alone. For our chocolate company, it is the fact that we use a special type of cacao in all of our chocolate, and that we process the cacao ourselves, and that we work closely with cacao farmers and pay them a huge premium over world market prices. For Amazon, it is that you can tap your phone and an item will show up on your doorstep the next day. To the extent that brands deviate from their unique selling proposition, people began to lose faith in the brand. For example, we've considered on many occasions running additional types of cacao through our process, or even selling other chocolates made by companies we respect. There is an upper limit on the growth of our company because only a certain amount of this one type of cacao is available. But ultimately, we've decided against that because it doesn't square with what our company is all about. Fortunato is the name of a cacao farmer in northern Peru. Our company is named after him. It wouldn't make sense to start selling chocolate made with other cacao. However, this decision in some ways keeps us from being quote unquote great. We don't have massive factories. We don't make billions of dollars a year. We don't have hundreds of thousands of employees. But it is actually better that way because our brand is clean and pure. We are who we are supposed to be. Likewise, if Amazon goes off the rails and starts taking 8 days to deliver stuff because they can make more money that way, they will cease to be who they are supposed to be. So, what is the point of all this? America's USP, its unique selling proposition, is supposed to be the land of the free. The national goal should be to rank number one on every single freedom index. Right now, we are between 12 and 20 on most lists. And you want to know something? That is garbage. How can America be 12th on a freedom index? That would be like Fortunato Chocolate being 12th on the list of companies using Pure Nacional cacao in their chocolate. America's founding fathers created the institutions of what it takes to be a free country. We created it. How could we be number 12? Before I sign off, I'd like to tell one more little story. It is of my great-grandfather, Lee Shively. He was my dad's grandfather. Lee was by all measures a meek individual. He wasn't somebody you would think of as great. He wasn't rich or powerful. He lived in a small town on a farm with his kids. And yet, he was beloved by all who knew him, and about 1,000 people showed up to his funeral. Given the small town where he lived, that was a huge turnout. What was Lee Shively's secret? He simply refused to talk bad about anybody. If you had a problem and needed somebody to confide in, Lee was your man. He'd hear you out, and even if you did something extremely dishonorable, you knew that Lee would help you through the problem and never speak a bad word about you to anybody behind your back. Every time he talked, it was to say something good about somebody. If there wasn't anything good to say, he kept quiet. That was his unique selling proposition, and he stuck with it well into old age. It served him well. The question I will leave you with is this: should Americans strive to be the greatest country in the world, or should we strive to be the most free? It is a simple goal, but as an American through and through, my heart and soul are for freedom. Freedom makes me proud. Greatness doesn't. The very last thing I will leave you with is this: the fabric of the universe is weaved in mysterious ways. Big things tend to manifest from a focus on small details. An enormous edifice is nothing more than a collection of small calculations stacked upon each other. This is why simple actions taken day after day can lead to huge outcomes down the line. A simple focus on freedom, on being a free people, unleashes human energy in a way that creates miracles. Anyhow, I'm starting to run out of steam a little bit now, so I'm going to sign off. I hope that you have a truly blessed day.